Okay, so you did it. You found the one, the perfect house. But then there's that one huge hurdle that feels like a pop quiz you didn't study for, the home inspection. I know, it can be a massive source of stress, but it really doesn't have to be. So, how do we get you from fear to feeling confident? Let's dive in.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's the one that keeps pretty much every home buyer up at night. One minute you're dreaming about where your couch is going to go, and the next you're stressing about some invisible crack in the foundation. It's a totally normal fear, but we're about to flip that script entirely.
This sentence right here, this is the whole key. An inspection is not a pass-fail test. It's not about finding a reason to kill the deal. Think of it as a learning opportunity. Your first real chance to get to know the home you're about to buy. Warts and all. So let's talk about those inspection jitters. The absolute first step to having a better, way less stressful experience is to just change your mindset about what this whole thing is actually for.
The most important part of that definition is educational tour. Seriously, your inspector is basically a super knowledgeable guide showing you all the ins and outs of the property. The goal isn't to rack up a list of reasons to run away. It's to spot any major issues before they become those awful, wallet-draining surprises later on.
Here's a great way to think about it. You never buy a used car without popping the hood or having a mechanic check it out, right? Of course not. You want to know if the tires are bald or if the transmission is acting weird. A home is the exact same idea, just on a much, much bigger scale.
And here's a little reality check that should help you breathe easier. No home is perfect. I'm going to say that again. No home is perfect. The inspector is absolutely going to find things. Especially in older homes, you should expect a list of small stuff that just comes from, well, a house being lived in. It's just normal wear and tear, not some giant red flag. Okay, so if it's a tour and not a test, what should you even be looking at? It is so easy to get this 50-page report and just have your eyes glaze over. The trick is knowing where to focus your attention so you don't get lost in the weeds.
These are the heavy hitters, the systems that keep the house standing, keep it dry, keep it comfortable, and keep it safe. We're talking about the roof and how much life it has left. The foundation, is it solid? The HVAC system, the plumbing, the electrical. This is the stuff that can cost thousands and thousands of dollars to fix or replace.
And this is why it's so critical to know the difference between a major concern and a minor quirk. Scuffed paint or a drippy faucet. Come on, that's a weekend project. But a furnace on its last legs or an old, outdated electrical panel, that's a whole different ballgame. The inspection helps you focus on that left column, not the little stuff on the right.
So, what's your job in all of this? Well, it's definitely not to be a passive observer just waiting for the verdict. No way. You are an active participant, and you've got a really important role to play.
Here's your playbook. It's super simple, 3 steps. Before the inspection, chat with your agent, get on the same page. During the inspection, be there, walk around, ask a ton of questions. And after, sit down and review the report so you can figure out what's next. This whole framework puts you right in the driver's seat.
And let me be really clear about this. Do not be shy. Your questions are your single best tool. This is your chance to learn about this house from a pro who has seen it all. Ask him to literally show you where the main water shutoff is. Ask him about what kind of maintenance the furnace needs. The more you ask, the more you learn, and the better homeowner you're going to be.
All right, so you've been there, you've asked your questions, and now you have the report. You're focused on the big stuff. So, now what? Well, this is where all that information turns into a real, concrete plan and real confidence. At inspection report, it's not the end of the story, it's actually the start of a conversation. You and your agent will go over the major findings and decide what to do. Maybe you ask the seller to fix a few things, or maybe you ask for a credit so you can hire your own people to do it. The report gives you the info and the leverage to have that discussion.
And here's the secret weapon. Even if the seller says, nope, not fixing a thing, you still come out on top. How? Because now you have a perfect to-do list for your new home. There are no surprises. You walk in on day one knowing exactly what you're buying and what needs your attention. You basically have a maintenance roadmap.
So, let's pull all this together. When you approach the inspection with this new, empowered mindset, you completely transform a moment that's usually full of anxiety into one of preparation and total clarity. At the end of the day, it really all comes down to this. The entire process is designed to arm you with knowledge. It's not about finding fault with a house just for the sake of it. It's about preparing you to be the smartest, most informed owner of that home you can possibly be.
And when you reframe the whole process like this,
The inspection delivers these three amazing things: clarity in the home's real condition, confidence that you're making the right call, and, maybe most importantly, peace of mind, knowing that you've done your homework and you're ready for whatever comes next.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. Instead of worrying about what the inspector might find, I want you to start thinking about what you want to learn. So with this new perspective, what's the first question you're going to ask at your inspection to kick off your journey as a confident homeowner?